Hello and welcome. Today it's all about stop frame. Now, I've never done a stop frame before, so I was tempted to just have a go, and that would probably mean me uploading like a 3-second video of whatever comes out. If you're watching this, I've produced something, a little stop frame animation to share with you all. But what I thought I'd do was I'd get the camera on and film as I go along, show you what I'm doing, what I'm learning. If anybody watching has got more expertise on this, please comment down below and let me know where I've gone wrong. Growing up, I was always a big fan of stop frame, from Wallace and Gromit, Nightmare Before Christmas, and a strange kooky little program called Trapdoor, I think it was called. I'll put a little pic of it to remind anybody who grew up in the 80s and 90s, they might remember it. So first of all, I've got a setup. I'm going to show you how I'm going to set up. This is going to be super basic. I think I'm probably only going to produce, well, let's say at most 5 seconds of footage. I really haven't got much experience about doing this, but I thought I'd bring you all along and show you how I get on and how I go about doing this. We shall see. Okay, so before I start setting up the gear, this is the talent for today's little clip I'm going to make. It's one of those mannequins that you use for drawing. The arms are all can move, and when you move it, it stays in position. And I guess it's probably anatomically correct for a person, but for what I want to do today, I thought it would be quite good, rather than trying to fabricate some kind of model or doing plasticine, although that is something I'd like to try. I thought this would be quite a good thing to use for my first attempt. So there he is. Okay, so this is the performance area that I've set up. There's actually a little window behind here, but I've decided to cover that up. As it's in the evening, it's going to be getting darker and darker, and this might take me a few hours to produce, and I don't want the light levels to be decreasing. It's black on black, and it's all being well, it'll allow the detail of the figure to show out without too many distractions in the background. Right, so what I've got to do next is I've got to compose this shot, which is going to be, every frame is going to be a photograph. So I've got to get this right. Another thing that I've got to remember is this tripod cannot move an inch, and it's got to stay still, otherwise you're going to get a juttering effect. It's not going to look great. So I've got to, now the next thing I've got to do is compose this shot. So every time, move, take a snap, move, take a snap, and the settings on here have got to stay the same. So I've got to get this spot on. Okay, so everything's set. I was just about to start when I realised that Matey is not attached to anything at the moment, so as I move it, there's a chance that he could sort of shimmy back and forth as the frames run. So just grab some blue tack, and I'm going to stick him to this flight case for my guitar pedals that I'm using as the floor. The other important thing I need to do with regard to keeping everything steady is, in a moment I'm going to be setting it so every time I press the shutter there's a 2-second delay, so that the camera isn't shaking. Right, blue tack's not going to work. I have to gaffer him to the floor. Right, I've done it. I'm really nervous that whether I'm going to be able to get it to work in Premiere Pro. Is it going to look any good? I've got a horrible feeling that all of the pictures are a little bit overexposed. I'm really nervous about how it's all going to look, but we shall see. Next job, get the camera off the tripod, import the photos, and try and load it into Premiere Pro and run it into a sequence and see how it looks. Okay, I've imported the pictures. I had a massive headache because I took them all as RAW, because obviously when I'm out doing my photography you want to be photographing in RAW. Premiere Pro doesn't process RAW, so I had a real hard headache thinking, oh god, am I going to have to redo it? It's okay, I was able to convert them to JPEG. I've just imported all the pictures into Premiere Pro and I'm just about to press play to see if it's worked. Yes! Yes, great, it's worked. Okay, so, oh, that looks great. Oh, wicked. Okay, so what I've got to do now is make sure I've got the timing right. I want to see if there's something I can do to smooth the frames out a little bit, color correct it all, get it all looking nice, and then we're good to go. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm really enjoyed it now I've seen that it's actually worked. So here's my first stop frame. Enjoy. Cheers guys. Okay, so I just thought I'd tag this on the end. I'm just getting into the swing of editing the video to share with you guys. But having spent the last 2 or 3 hours animating this fellow, having him just sat next to me like this, maybe it's, I don't know, having been too much of a Toy Story fan when I was younger and an overactive imagination, but it's kind of giving me the creeps a bit. I kind of expect that he's going to just, I'm going to turn to him and he's going to be waving at me. Hey ho. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the vid. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Feel free to give a dislike if you didn't. I'd rather know how you feel about it. All the best guys.